All right, good day. Today's total body fitness is going to be the total body, but we are going to do some core work. And I don't mean just like crunches and sit-ups and things like that. We're going to work to strengthen the core, trying to keep it in its natural state. Meaning if you're standing upright, you've got a natural curve here, you've got the natural curve on the top. And when you do a rounding crunch, you're changing that spine. We're going to do a lot of core focus that keeps it in this position where we want to make it as strong as possible most of the time. So let's get started with some side steps. We're going to start here at the hip, so we're going to step to the side together, and side together, and then we'll go the other way. Again, and switch. And then come to the center of your mat. You're going to step forward and back. So you step 1 foot forward, then return back to center, and then change feet. For those that are maybe new to my exercises, we start off pretty gentle and pretty easy, and then we do get pretty strong. I do consider this to be a beginner to intermediate level class. As always, if there's something that doesn't work for you, you're recovering from an injury, please skip the item that does not going to work. And then we're going to march in place, picking up your feet. Let's see if we can pick the knees up higher, going a little slower. And then march again slow, fast, fast and low. Fast and low. And then high and slow. A little coordination challenge here. Low and fast. And then high and slow. Again, low and fast. And then high. All right, let's twist. Go ahead and separate your feet, turn your shoulders from side to side, and let your body just relax. Let the arms kind of plop on the torso, creating a little vibration. This is very popular in Tai Chi. And then coming back to center, bring your feet hip-width distance apart. You're going to reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to bring them back by your hips. When you bring them by your hips, you're going to bend your knees into a little squat. It feels a little bit like one of those ski jumpers. Then you're going to go up, and then squat. When you're doing your squat, make sure your weight is evenly pressed in your feet, not too far back in your heels, not too far forward on your toes. Try to find that middle ground on your foot. Four, three, two, and one. Excellent. Shake out your legs. We're going to take a little side bend down. Don't go too deep into your bend. We're just going to make these little stretches to each side, moving the hips as well. So I'm not just taking my head over, I'm taking my hips to the side and countering that side hip movement with my head. You're going to feel your weight transfer from foot to foot. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming to a wider stance now, about shoulder width apart. Toes are going to be forward, more forward than out to the side, so really make sure they're straight forward. Soften your knees, and we're going to hip hinge. So you're going to take your rear back like you're trying to touch the wall behind you. See if you can keep your back as flat as possible. Then coming back up. Going again, hinging forward and down. And coming back up. Repeat. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings, in your lower back, working those spine muscles. It's going to be our focus today, spine and core, but trying to stay as straight as possible. Let's do one more after this. And release. Shake it all about. We're going to step into a lunge. So you're going to step your right foot forward and your left foot back. You're going to bend your right knee and straighten. Now we're going to try to keep this back leg straight and locked out so that you can stretch through your front hip crease. As you're doing this knee bend, you're trying to take your hips forward and your shoulders up and back and center. If you need assistance to keep your shoulders up and back, some people like to bring their hands up and back as well. It helps you keep your shoulders upright. You can bring them up to the ceiling for an additional stretch, or you can keep them right here on your hips. And let's change feet. Nice long lunge, back leg straight. You're going to bend the front knee just enough to get that stretch in that back hip crease, your hip flexors. And release. Shake out those legs. Standing cat and cow, you're going to reach forward. You're going to really round through your spine, pull the belly in, and then you're going to pull the elbows back, chest comes forward. Just creating some extension and flexion through the spine. Get it moving. Three more, 2, and 1. Shake out your legs. We're going to take an arm circle. You're going to bring the arm actually behind you. So instead of you just circling the arm and standing here like this, we're going to turn and twist the body. That way we can also start to work on the mobility through the spine and a rotation. So you're going to take your right arm, you're going to turn, you're going to reach way behind you up to the ceiling, and then as far forward and down as you can. Feel the stretch through that shoulder blade. Best you can, reaching back and up, turning and twisting and lowering. Again. 2 more. And last one. And switch, other side, turning, reaching up to the ceiling, stretching it forward. 2 more. And last one. Nice. We're going to come to the back of your mat and we're going to walk forward. We're going to walk forward in a monster type walk. A monster type walk sounds exactly like that. We're kind of waddling from foot to foot, zombie style. You're going to bring your feet really wide. You're going to step forward with the knees bent and as wide as you can. Maybe if you have a mat, you would think that you're as wide as your mat. Okay. Then you're going to take these walks backwards. Okay, let's try again. Taking it forward, you can go fast, you can go slow. You can do it with a straighter leg, the less bend over, right? If it's too much in your knees to bend the knees that much. But if you bend your knees and hinge down, it becomes definitely harder. Your abs have to work harder. Let's go again. One more round. And shake it out. All right, we're going to calf raise next. So you're going to hold on to something, a wall, counter. You're going to lift your heels up as high as you can go and lower back down. Now, I want you to spread your toes a little bit, get them long in your shoe, and you're gonna come up. You wanna feel more weight on the big toe, and you don't want your ankles to fall out to the side. We wanna really try to keep those heels coming straight up over the foot and back down. Three more, 2, and 1. Now you're going to do the opposite toe raise. Toes come up. Now you're stretching out your calf muscles, working the front shin muscles. It's great for walking and balance. Actually, it's really a good muscle to strengthen if you got knee issues. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna do our first real exercise now. We're gonna start with a plank. I'm gonna use a chair as a modification that helps keep it a little easier. But if you're ready to get down on the floor, you can do that. So elbows onto your chair or down onto the ground you go. Your feet, we're gonna bring the feet all the way together and touch. And we're gonna start with the hips up a little higher because I'm looking for you to actually squeeze your glutes, and we're gonna pull it under a little bit. Elbows down, walk your feet back, toes together. My hips are a little high because now I want you to squeeze your butt. Your butt's gonna squeeze. That's gonna help bring your hips down and in a nice straight line. Tighten the thighs. Core is on. Now your head. A lot of people tend to look down at their feet and let their head drop down. See if you can keep the head long, keeping that spine lengthened, as if I'm getting pulled from the top or from my head, pulling towards the back of my chair here. And take rest. So if you're on the floor, you can just take a child's pose. If you're standing here, you can just stretch back. And let's repeat. Plank. Toes together, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the glutes, and hold. Strong arms. Head is lifted, long neck. And rest. Alrighty, we're gonna use your chair for sit down, stand ups. So you're gonna sit your bum down and you're gonna stand your bum up. Now, if you want to take it more advanced level, you would just do a squat with no chair, okay? But the idea is I want you to feel your glutes work, okay? So you're gonna sit here, you're gonna lean forward, you're gonna press down into the floor before you even stand up, and I want you to feel your knees go out and you're trying to work your bum muscles to come up versus your thigh muscles, okay? Same thing if you're not using the chair, you're gonna squat down, you're gonna feel like you're gonna try to squeeze back here, and I feel like I gotta push my knees out a little bit to get that action in my glute in order to rise up versus making my knees do all the work. 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, you're gonna stretch out your quads, holding on to your wall or counter, grab a foot, and change sides. And release, shake it out. So we're gonna go back to the plank again, but this time you're gonna do a knee drive. So you're gonna bring your knee in towards your chest. So if you're on the floor, you're gonna go on your hands. If you're using your chair as a modification, your elbows are gonna go on the chair. Your toes are gonna start together. You're gonna bring one knee in and step it back, and then the other knee in and bring it back. Knee drives, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Change, rest. Woo! All right, we're gonna come back to the chair. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna do some leg lifts. Now, common thing that happens if somebody's doing a seated leg lift is they lean back, and as soon as they go to lift the leg, they kind of go like this with the spine. They round it forward, trying to get the leg higher. But this is where I was talking about at the beginning of the class. We're gonna try not to do that with a lot of these exercises today. We're gonna try to stay leaning back, upright. Imagine that somebody's grabbing your head, pulling it up, and you're gonna leg lift in that position. Guess what? Your leg's not gonna go nearly as high as you could as if you did like this. Yeah, Suzanne Summers, right? Thigh master. You're gonna go along with your spine and only lift it as high as you can go. Ready? 10 on each leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, I know, 6, it's not fun, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Your hip flexors are really important, and they get short, they get weak from oversitting, so I know that one is no fun. Try the other leg. Leaning back, keep the spine tall, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Taking that rest, stand up, shake out the legs. We're going to use the chair with the hands this time. We're going to lift the leg behind. So we're doing a leg lift, straight leg in a bent over position. Now your standing leg can be bent as much as you need to not overstretch your hamstring. Your hands go down and you're going to point your right foot behind you. You want all the weight onto your left foot, okay? So you're not over your hands here. We're on that left foot because you're going to feel your left glute work. Now if you notice, my back is rounding here. We want to straighten it out. So I'm going to think, lengthen the head, lengthen the spine, pull the belly in to get it from this position and around to more straight. 10 on each side. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Change legs, pointing it behind. Get the spine nice and straight, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming up to standing, go ahead and shake that out a little bit. Let's do a little arm work. Let's take a lower body break. You're gonna get your loop resistance bands. If you don't have loop bands, it's okay. You can just pull on a straight band. But I'm gonna start with a medium or light band. I'm gonna wrap it around my wrists. Now, if you don't have that kind of a band to wrap, you can just hold on to a longer, straight one and just try to adjust your hands so that they're the same as mine. So in this loop band around the wrist, you're gonna have the palms facing each other. You're gonna stand up tall. You're gonna pull on it ever so gently. We're gonna hold right here, and we're gonna start to bring the arms forward and then lower, trying to keep the same amount of tension, okay? Now, if you wanna increase that challenge, you're going to do a slow march with it. If you wanna work that balance and more core stability, you're gonna push on the band, arms are gonna come up, leg slowly comes up like it's getting pulled by the band, and then you lower it back down, and then change feet. If your balance isn't working today, that's okay. Just work the arms and the shoulders. We're just bringing them a little bit forward and up and back down. You can always throw in a leg as you feel you're ready to do it. Let's do one more. Finishing this one out, we're going to lower the arms and then pulse the arms right away. Pulse, keeping the fire on those shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Whew, shake out those arms. Now we're going to pull back. So you're going to need to either pull on your straight band or on your loop band. You got to have one arm straight and one arm bent. This light band is too easy, so I'm going to switch to a heavier one. I'm actually going to go to heavy today. You're going to hold it like you're punching somebody with one arm. That arm stays locked and straight, shoulder down away from the ear, and the other arm you're going to pull back like you're pulling, like a little bit like a bow and arrow. It could be up high, I guess, but you could also pull low if that's more comfortable for your shoulder. We're going to do 10 on each side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax, shake it out. Other side, you push it forward really straight and lock out that arm, and then you pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do a lat pull down. Arms go straight up overhead. You're going to keep that right arm locked out. You're going to bend your left elbow and you're going to pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully you were feeling mostly your triceps working. It's more of a tricep exercise than it was a lat pull, but it is the lat pull down exercise. It is that movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take a rest. You're going to change out. We're going to get some bicep curls. So get your heaviest weights that you can curl up. I'm going to probably go with my 8s today because that's all I've got over there. That's what I'm going to go with. All right, depending on how heavy your weights are, it's going to depend on how fast you go. So if you've got 3-pound weights, you can probably do 2 to my 1, right? So you do as many as you can do, and if you've got heavier than 8, you might be a little slower than me. I'm going to count to 12, so whatever you can get in that time, that's what you're going to do. Curling them up, keep those elbows low. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Relax, shoulder shrugs, bring the shoulders up to the ears and release. We're going to do a bent over row. This way you're still working your biceps, but now we're going to work the back muscles. Here we're going to talk again about that spine. So knees are soft, feet are hip width distance apart, and you hinge forward. Let the weight slide down your legs. My fingers are touching my legs. They're not hanging out in front of me here. That puts too much tension on the back. Keep them in nice and tight. Now, here's this no back bend, no rounding. We want to find that neutral standing position and then just hinge over a little bit, trying to stay in that position, keeping your neck long in the back, and then you're going to bend the elbows, pulling the weights towards your hips or your back pockets. That way you're working more of your back muscles. If you want to work more of your biceps, you're going to turn your palms forward and you're going to pull up like you're doing a bicep curl. So there's different ways to do this exercise. So you can make it a bicep curl. You could also make it a row, working your mid back. That's what I'd prefer you do, but if you want to do the biceps, you go right on ahead. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Standing back upright, shoulder shrugs. All right, you're gonna put your weights down. You're gonna come back to your band. We're gonna do a banded pull apart overhead. Now, I'm gonna grab my loop again. I'm gonna bring it up overhead, and we're just gonna pull to a V. Now, if you've got a longer band, you may be able to pull down to a T and maybe come just in front of your face, but I've only got my loops today, and I'm just gonna pull as far as I can go. Now, when you go up over your head, here's one thing to think about. Most people go, well, I'm going to try to get up as high as I can, and I'm going to compromise my spine by doing this and then pulling. What I want you to make sure is that we don't have an excessive back bend. So if that means, first things first, ribs have to be in and neutral. And I don't mean in and down like that. That's too far. Just in and neutral so they're not poking forward. Then bring it up. Try to keep them in that position, and now try the pull. Your arms may not go as far back over your head as you may be able to if you let your ribs help compensate that. So we're going to keep those ribs in, and we pull. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Last but not least, with the band, we are going to do a rotator cuff exercise. So the palms go up. I'm going to grip it, elbows stay in. And I'm going to think rotating the hands open, not elbows out and open. Here we go. Opening, keeping those elbows in. And I'm really trying to work my upper back shoulder blades. I'm trying to bring them in and together, working the upper back muscles more than my arms themselves. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. If you have something small that you could step over, I'm going to get a little towel. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're coming back to the legs and the core. So I'm going to put a little towel down there, because what I'm looking for you to do is we're going to step up and back over and in. Now, I want you to try it with something, but it can't be too big, it can't be too high, because the added challenge is going to be to put a loop band around your ankles. So you take that band, I'm going to go with the heavy band, putting it around your feet, ankles. You're going to do the same exercise. You're going to have no resistance on the loop right now, if it's nothing. Then you're going to create resistance by lifting the leg up and start to move it out. You're then going to try to step over your object, and you're going to control it. Control it back, shift the weight, lift the foot up and over. Okay? So you can do it with the band, without the band, with an object. Without an object, I could still do the step over, pretending there's an object there, okay? But if you need that actual sensory item, there it is. We're gonna do 8 on each side. Nice, slow control, knees are soft. You're gonna start to lift the leg, you're gonna push it out, land. You're gonna feel your glute medius work. Your spine is long, stomach is strong. You bring yourself back in, control it. We're working balance as well. Here we go. You've got it. This is 2, 3, feeling those hips, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. One thing I didn't really mention, but hopefully you noticed, is that the leg I'm standing on, I'm trying to keep it as steady, as stable as possible. As soon as I go to lift this leg and pull, my knee and my leg's gonna wanna try to go. I've gotta fight that. I'm trying to keep this knee right over that standing toe. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice. Next, we're going to come down onto the floor, onto the mat. I'm going to keep my bands with me. And now we're going to bring the band higher up around right below the knee. Oh, hi, Ray. Ray's here to join. We're going to go into a side plank. So you're going to come onto your elbow. You're going to come onto your knees. You're going to lift your hips up. You're going to really focus on getting a long spine. So imagine somebody's pulling your head. At the same time, somebody's pulling your hips and your knees the opposite way. You push down into that arm to lift yourself up, and you're going to lift your top leg. And we're going to hold here for 10 counts. Once we get there and hold for 10, we're then going to pulse the leg for 10. All right? Let's see if you have an animal as well. It's always more challenge. And we lift, hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We pulse the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching to the other side. On your elbow you go. On your knees, push down, get a nice strong shoulder first, then lift the hips up, make sure you're nice and flat and level, and then you're going to lift that top leg and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we pulse. 1, 2, yes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. All right. So next, we are going to keep the band around the legs. We're going to lean back a little bit, and we're going to lift the legs up. Oops. Let me go this way. Oh, actually, that's a good exercise too. You're going to lean back, but I really want you to focus again on this straight back, not rounding like this if you can. We want to be long, supporting with the hands. We're going to lift the legs up, and then you're going to push the legs open like the frog. The feet are apart, the knees are apart, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Reverse tabletop. So fingers either facing your hips or out to the side. You're going to lift your hips up, pushing the knees forward, getting a nice stretch through your front body. And release. Remove your band. Where you're going to sit again, you're going to put the heels on the floor. You're going to lean back with a super straight spine. You're going to hold this. You're going to bring your right arm up over your head without letting any of this change. Remember when we went over the head, I said don't go like that. Keep it in. This will be harder to do that. Going to do opposite arm, one at a time. If you need a break, take that quick break. I need a quick break. And then we're going to try both arms, okay? So you're going to lean back. We're going to try to hold it. Bring both arms up. Maybe you go a little higher. Maybe you go a little bit more. Maybe you're shaking a lot. And then you bring the arms back down and take a break. The higher the arms up over your head, the harder it is. So let's try again, leaning back, holding on. Nice tall spine. You can do one arm or both arms. Go all the way. See how high you can go without changing your body position. And then lower back down and take a break. Let's do one more because it was so much fun. Lean back, reaching the arms, reaching, reach. Woo! And come in through. Go open with your legs. We're going to windshield wiper the legs to the side. So you're going to roll the knees to the right. Then we're going to twist, turning all the way to the right behind you. Then we're going to switch to the other side, bring the hand back, roll the legs really wide, turning now to your left. And let's repeat this. So windshield wiper, and add the upper rotational twist to stretch out the sides. And one more time. And now we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to work the abdominals without it being a huge crunch, meaning that right now you're going to feel there's an arch in your back. You're going to feel maybe your ribs are lifting up a little bit. I want you to take your ribs down towards the mat a little bit without you flattening the lower back. So it's just a small amount of contraction. If I pushed all the way and contracted all the way, I could push my lower back all the way flat, tilt my pelvis, and change my spine. So for today, we're going to try not to go that far. We're going to control this, ribs, and a little contraction without making too much of an adjustment or change to your lower back. From here, you're going to just lift your head up enough that you feel the neck working, but it's not overly working, and then you're going to lower your head back down. We're building some neck strength and some core stabilization. So here it is. It's not intense. It's enough of a contraction, but it's not a huge pelvic tilt, and it's not a press that lower back as hard as you can into the floor. We're going to contract just enough to get the ribs flatter, and then lift the head and lower back down. Again, lifting the head, and it's not as high as you can go. We're just lifting it and lowering it. Lift without changing that core. Now we're going to let the head rest, and you're going to move a leg. So without changing that core, you're going to have more tightness, but try not to press that lower back in. You're going to lift the leg up and lower, then switch the other leg. Put your hands right on your belly so you can feel the work. Try not to let yourself roll from side to side or swivel a little to the hip. Your hips are going to want to switch a little bit. You're going to try to keep everything as steady as possible. The leg isn't moving a lot. Continue with the movement, really focusing on your abdominals. Don't worry about how many you're doing. It's all about that control. If you're feeling it more in your back, I want you to tighten a little bit more in the front. And then you're going to just take a rest. Let those abs rest down. Okay, we're going to roll up. You're going to lean back like we did in the chair. So the legs are pretty long. You're going to sit up tall. You're going to lean back. And we're going to go once again with the arms up over the head as high as you can go. And then bring them back to center. Again, up over the head. And then back to center. One more time, over the head. And back to center. Take a rest. All right, this time we're going to rotate. So we're going to sit up tall, legs straight if you can. If you need to go ahead and do like an easy cross seat, you can do that as well. Don't over hyperextend this way, and definitely don't have your tailbone tucked under here. Really try to get those bottoms of the sitting bones right onto the mat And then find that your ribs are going in and down slightly, but not so much that you're rounding. You reach the arms forward, touch the fingers, and rotate to your right and stop when you feel like there's a stopping point. It's not how far you rotate, it's the integrity in where you're at in the space, meaning that I could do more if I compensated by maybe shifting onto one hip, but I'm trying to stay even on my hip bones, and I'm not trying to stretch this, I'm trying to strengthen this. And then go to the other side, come through center, and switch, stopping where you feel that stopping point, and make sure the integrity, the musculature is there. You're feeling the muscles work. And release onto your stomach for your final exercise and stretch. So you're gonna come on down. We are gonna lift the arms back behind you. We're gonna work these back muscles, tightening up the glutes, the legs, lower back, upper back. Now your head can look forward, but you can also lengthen it out, bringing the gaze more down towards the mat if that feels better in your neck. Holding here. To make it harder, arms come out to a T or over the head. Holding 10 counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a back bend of your choice. If you just want to prop up onto your elbows for your Sphinx pose, or if you like a cobra, you bring your hands lower by your ribs and come all the way up best you can, trying to keep your hip bones down onto the floor. Breathe. And then child's pose. All right, coming onto hands and knees for cat and cow and wag tail, and this is it. So just a little bit of movement now for the spine. We did a lot of holding in isometrics to strengthen it. Now we're just trying to say, it's okay, you can move again, and then take those hips side to side. And that is it, guys. Thanks again for coming to Total Body with a little bit of a core focus, and we will see you next time.